welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something that underpins almost every piece of technology you touch, yet it's often entirely invisible. We're talking about the global electronics adhesive market.
Yeah, it sounds maybe a bit niche, right?
It does, but stick with us, because it's actually a quiet powerhouse shaping our digital world.
It's absolutely true. And when we say electronics adhesives, we're not just talking about, basic glues.
Right.
These are incredibly sophisticated materials. Think about making a smartphone thinner, lighter, but also tough enough to survive a drop.
Or waterproof.
Exactly, or waterproof. They're not just stuck together. They're bonded with things like advanced structural epoxies. Or, consider a high-performance processor. It gets incredibly hot.
Yeah.
So you need specialized thermally conductive pastes to pull that heat away. Otherwise, the whole thing could, melt down.
Right. Crucial stuff.
And then you have things like anisotropic conductive films, ACF they call it. Really vital for bonding tiny components without shorting anything out. Wow.
So, yeah, their growing sophistication and specific functions are really key drivers for this market's growth. It's what enables the miniaturization and durability we all just expect now.
That's a great point, that distinction. It really highlights how foundational these materials are. Our dive today, it's based on an in-depth report from Cognitive Market Research. It focuses on forecasts up to 2025 and beyond. So our mission: let's unpack the numbers region by region and try to uncover the specific forces and maybe some surprising trends shaping this essential high-tech market.
Sounds good.
So let's start with the big picture, just to ground ourselves in the sheer scale of this industry. In 2021, the global market clocked in at, get this, $4,020.9 million in sales revenue.
$1 billion.
Fast forward to 2025, and that's projected to climb to $5,036.12 million.
Okay.
But here's the really interesting part. By 2033, the forecast is for an impressive $7,900.58 million.
Wow, nearly $8 billion. Exactly. This means a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 5.79%. So effectively, the market's on track to nearly double its 2021 size by 2033.
That's significant growth.
It really is. So what does this trajectory tell us about the bigger landscape of electronics manufacturing?
Well, this kind of growth, it signifies much more than just, more glue.
Right.
It's a direct reflection of just accelerating global demand for electronics, pretty much across every sector you can think of. We're seeing huge expansion in areas like the Internet of Things, the build-out of 5G infrastructure, the really rapid growth of electric vehicles.
EVs, yeah.
And increasingly complex packaging for semiconductors. Advanced packaging is huge.
Okay.
And every single one of these trends demands more sophisticated, more varied adhesives for assembly, for thermal management, for structural integrity.
So it's all connected.
It is. This consistent global growth suggests we're in this sustained period of innovation and expansion in how we build and consume technology. And these specialized materials are, right at the heart of enabling it all.
That's a powerful link, microcomponents, to these huge macro trends. Okay, let's start our regional deep dive then. Let's unpack these growth drivers region by region, starting with North America.
Makes sense. Still a major player.
Definitely. The market there was valued at $1,152.07 million back in 2021.
Okay.
It's projected to hit $1,908.98 million by 2025, and then surge to $2,905.19 million by 2033. That maintains a solid CAGR of 5.389%.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that kind of robust growth in what you consider a pretty mature market.
Right.
North America has, for decades, it's been a cornerstone of tech innovation, from basic research right through to advanced manufacturing, think aerospace, defense, high-performance computing.
True.
So this sustained growth isn't just about keeping things ticking over. It suggests ongoing heavy investment in cutting-edge R&D, and also a strategic focus on reshoring or nearshoring critical manufacturing.
That's a key point, especially post-pandemic.
Exactly. That drive for more resilient supply chains, it directly impacts demand for specialized adhesives and local assembly and production right there.
That reshoring angle is really insightful. And within North America, no surprise, the United States dominates. It was $1,107.12 million in 2021, forecast to reach $1,955.88 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 4.993%.
Still very solid.
Yeah. And Canada also shows strong expansion, actually a bit faster, with a CAGR of 6.054%.
Okay.
But here's where it gets really interesting regionally. Mexico. It registered $147.478 million in 2021, but it's forecasted to hit $337.882 million by 2033.
Right.
That gives it the fastest TAGR in the whole North American region, an impressive 6.61%.
Yeah, that's telling.
So what's driving that specific boom in Mexico?
Well, Mexico's faster growth isn't just sort of general expansion. It feels very specific, very strategic.
Right.
It's largely a direct result of intensified nearshoring strategies,
Yeah.
by major North American and global electronics firms.
Bringing production closer.
Exactly. Companies are actively diversifying their manufacturing footprint. They want to mitigate geopolitical risks, optimize logistics, bring production closer to their end markets and key suppliers.
Makes sense.
In Mexico, well, it has a skilled labor force, established trade agreements, and obviously geographical proximity to the U.S. It's become this incredibly attractive hub for electronics assembly, automotive electronics, contract manufacturing.
So the demand for adhesives just follows that shift.
Directly.
Yeah.
A surge in demand for high-performance adhesives within all these newly set up or expanded facilities.
That context really clicks.
Yeah.
Okay, so from those established but still dynamic hubs in North America, let's cross the Atlantic to Europe. The picture there seems a bit more fragmented maybe, but still dynamic.
Yeah, definitely dynamic.
Europe's market saw 1,242.46 million in 2021. It's climbing to 1,527.39 million by 2025 and projected to hit 2,355.14 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of 5.562%. Still respectable.
It is, and what's particularly fascinating here is seeing the diverse growth rates across what is, again, a very mature market, but also highly specialized in places.
Specialized how?
Well, Europe leads in specific high-value sectors, right? Think automotive electronics, huge there. Medical devices, industrial automation, advanced aerospace components. Okay.
So this varied growth reflects different national strength and investment levels in these high-tech industries.
I see.
For example, countries with really strong automotive sectors, like Germany, they'd see high demand for robust adhesives for EV battery packs or advanced driver assistance systems.
Right, ADs.
Yeah. While other countries might focus more on miniaturized adhesives for things like medical implants.
Interesting.
And you also have regulatory frameworks playing a big role, like the EU's REACH regulations on chemicals. That pushes innovation towards safer, more sustainable adhesive solutions too.
Those sector-specific insights really help paint the picture. The report does highlight some key European examples. The UK, for instance, actually boasts one of Europe's highest KGRs at 6.236%,
Oh, interesting.
growing from about $281 million in 2021 to nearly $584 million by 2033.
Okay.
Germany, the manufacturing powerhouse we mentioned, still shows a strong presence, 5.874% CGR, reaching around $432 million by 2033. But here's a little twist. The report notes the rest of Europe category. Surprisingly, that group shows the fastest growth rate in Europe at 6.881% CAGR.
The rest of Europe.
Yeah, projected to more than double from about $105 million in 2021 to over $221 million by 2033.
Huh. That's actually quite common. That rest of Europe figure often captures a collection of smaller but highly innovative economies or maybe rapidly developing industrial sectors within larger ones.
So not just the big names.
Exactly. You might have countries focusing on really specific niche electronics, specialized sensors, maybe bespoke industrial controls, even advanced smart home devices. Collectively, they can drive significant demand even if their individual markets seem smaller.
Right, it highlights that electronics are getting integrated everywhere.
Pretty much. It's not just mass market consumer goods anymore, it's diverse industrial applications too.
That provides some excellent context. Okay, let's pivot now to the Asia-Pacific region, APAC. Truly a dynamic powerhouse, arguably the engine of global electronics manufacturing, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can't overstate its importance. The region saw significant growth, valued at $715.72 million in 2021. It's estimated to rise to $919.39 million in 2025, and by 2033, projected to hit an impressive $1,516.73 million.
Yeah.
It's a strong CAGR of 6.457%.
Yeah, this region's trajectory is just critical to watch. APAC's strong growth is mainly fueled by its dominance in global semiconductor packaging, consumer electronics assembly, display manufacturing.
Basically, where everything gets made.
To a large extent, yes. From the screens in our pockets to the microchips powering AI, a lot of it originates there. The sheer scale of production is immense.
Right.
So even small increases in demand for foundational components like adhesives, maybe driven by new device versions, more complex designs, things like foldable screens, they have a massive cumulative impact impact on the market there.
A multiplier effect.
Exactly. It's just this relentless cycle of innovation and mass production.
And within that huge ecosystem, China naturally dominates.
Yeah.
It moved from about $293 million in 2021 to an expected $613 million by 2033. That's a 6.326% CAGR.
Still leading the pack in volume.
But here's another fast grower, India. The report identifies it as one of the fastest growing markets globally. It's showing a remarkable 7.592% CAGR.
Wow, that's high.
Yeah, from about $37 million in 2021 to nearly $89 million by 2033. What specific drivers are pushing India up so fast in this market?
India's rapid rise is, well, it's a powerful story. It's driven by several factors coming together.
Like what?
First, just strong domestic demand for consumer electronics. You've got a young, growing population, increasing disposable incomes.
Right, huge internal market potential.
Huge. Second, government initiatives like Make in India are actively encouraging local electronics manufacturing and assembly. They want to move beyond just importing finished goods.
Which creates direct need for local supply chains, including adhesives.
Precisely. And then you're also seeing significant investment in digital infrastructure, the 5G rollout, that requires adhesives for all the telecommunications equipment.
Okay.
So it's a clear signal of India really solidifying its place, not just as a consumer, but increasingly as a producer in the global electronics landscape.
Fascinating combination of factors. Okay, shifting our gaze further south now, let's explore South America. Maybe not as large in absolute numbers as the other regions, but the report shows consistent emerging opportunities.
Yep, steady growth there.
The market was about $197 million in 2021, expected to grow to $244 million in 2025, and then to $367.6 million by 2033. That's a steady CAGR of 5.254%.
And that consistency, even if the overall size is smaller, is important. It suggests a growing middle class, with increasing access to electronics, both imported and maybe some locally assembled. We are seeing some localized manufacturing starting up or expanding. White goods, automotive components, basic consumer electronics.
So foundational growth.
Exactly. It indicates broader economic development in the tech sector, a rise in domestic consumption that needs reliable component supply. And that includes specialized adhesives.
And leading that charge in South America is Brazil. It was just over $100 million in 2021, projected to reach about $192.5 million by 2033, with a 5.417% CAGR.
Right, the largest economy there.
Yeah. And Colombia also shows robust expansion, slightly faster actually, with a 5.582% CAGR. So definite movement and growing demand across these key economies.
Steady progress.
Okay, next up, the Middle East. This is a region showing particularly significant high growth potential, according to the report.
Yes. Definitely one to watch.
Their market was valued around $185 million in 2021, growing to about $238.5 million in 2025, and projected to reach over $402.9 million by 2033.
Okay.
And this translates to an impressively high CGR of 6.772%.
Yeah, that does raise an important question. What's driving such strong growth in the Middle East?
Good question.
It really points to a profound economic diversification strategy that's underway, moving beyond traditional resource-based economies.
Right. We heard a lot about that.
We're seeing massive investments in things like smart city projects, think NEOM in Saudi Arabia. These are essentially living labs for advanced electronics and IoT.
True.
There's also substantial development in IT infrastructure, data centers, and a real push into localized high-tech manufacturing in some areas. And another factor, the region's increasing adoption of renewable energy, particularly large-scale solar projects. That also contributes to adhesive demand for specialized electronic components in solar panels, power management systems.
The multiple drivers converging.
Exactly. It's a region actively trying to build its future tech landscape.
That's a compelling picture of very intentional growth. And the report spotlights the UAE specifically. It boasts the fastest CAGR in the region at 7.352%.
Go fast.
Growing from about $36 million in 2021 to $84 million by 2033. And Saudi Arabia leads in overall market size within the region, projected to reach about $118 million by 2033, with its own strong CAGR of 7.021%.
Those are really indicative figures. Shows a region undergoing rapid transformation.
Absolutely. Okay, finally, let's talk about Africa. The report identifies this continent as showing the highest growth potential in the entire global market. That's pretty exciting.
It really is. Potentially transformative growth.
The market was relatively small in 2021, $128.669 million.
Yeah.
But it's forecasted to grow to $197.8 million by 2025 and projected at $352.961 million by 2033.
Okay.
This represents the strongest T-rager globally at 7.506%.
7.5% globally. That's incredibly significant. This is definitely a region that demands close attention.
Why such high growth?
Well, such a high CGR suggests not just, adopting electronics, but profound infrastructural and technological development really taking root.
Okay.
You're seeing massive increases in mobile penetration, for instance, often leapfrogging traditional fixed-line infrastructure. That leads to a surge in demand for mobile devices and all the supporting telecom infrastructure.
The mobile-first continent.
Pretty much. Localized assembly plants are also starting to emerge, driven by a young, rapidly growing population and just increasing access to technology. Plus, you have things like off-grid solar solutions becoming huge, digital payment systems spreading rapidly, foundational IT build-outs, all contributing to this demand for specialized adhesives.
It's an emerging frontier.
Truly. Immense untapped potential there.
Absolutely. Those are really eye-opening growth rates. And leading the continent is Nigeria, an impressive 8.031% CAGR.
Over 8%.
Yeah, growing from about $58 million in 2021 to almost $169 million by 2033. South Africa also shows rapid expansion, 7.838% CAGR, reaching about $96 million by 2033.
Dynamic figures. Really highlights accelerating digital transformations across the continent.
Definitely. So, okay, let's try to synthesize the overarching themes from this deep dive. We're seeing healthy, consistent global growth overall in electronics adhesives.
Right.
But there's this fascinating and really clear shift towards even faster expansion in emerging economies, particularly Asia-Pacific, the Middle East, and especially Africa.
While the big guys hold steady.
Exactly. This is happening even as North America and Europe remain these large established markets. So what is this dynamic interplay? Mature markets growing steadily, emerging markets accelerating. What does it signal for the future of our tech-driven world?
Well, this growth, this foundational growth, it isn't just about the sheer volume of, sticky stuff. It's a powerful and often overlooked indicator of several really profound shifts happening.
That jazz.
It underscores the increasing complexity and miniaturization of electronics in just about every facet of our lives. Think smart sensors in agriculture, adhesive systems in cars.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. It points to continuous innovation in manufacturing processes themselves, demanding adhesives that maybe cure faster, or perform under harsher conditions, or offer totally new functions like stretchability or even biodegradability.
Sustainability, too.
Increasingly, yes. This foundational market is what enables the next generation of smart homes, advanced medical devices, the ubiquitous IoT we talked about, and that accelerating transition to electric vehicles.
So it underpins so much innovation.
It really does. It's kind of a quiet testament to this relentless global consumer demand and that ceaseless drive for technological advancement.
What a fantastic deep dive into an industry that truly acts as the unseen architecture of our modern world.
Well put.
From the consistent strategic growth in North America and Europe to that explosive transformative potential we're seeing in Asia-Pacific, the Middle East, and Africa. The electronics adhesive market really is a quiet but powerful barometer of global tech advancement. It's just a compelling reminder that even the smallest, most invisible components are part of this massive, interconnected, and highly dynamic global industry.
Indeed. And maybe here's something for you, the listener, to consider. If the demand for these highly specialized electronics adhesives is nearly doubling in just over a decade, what does that imply about the sheer scale of global electronics production that's coming online? Think about a volume.
Wow.
What new material science innovations will be necessary just to meet this demand, especially for sustainable, high-performance options? And how might this foundational growth ripple through completely unexpected industries as electronics become even more integrated into everything from, say, smart clothing to advanced infrastructure? It really pushes the boundaries of what these invisible bonds can actually achieve.
Truly powerful questions to ponder as we wrap up. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the unseen, yet utterly critical forces driving our technological world.
My pleasure.
We hope it's given you some fascinating insights to reflect on. We'll catch you next time.